All right, guys and gals, major news from Sony. Just 2 weeks after Microsoft acquired Activision, they came into an agreement with Bungie. Sony just acquired Bungie for $3.6 billion. Now, it's not a splashy acquisition like Microsoft, and even that did with Activision, and even what Microsoft previously did with Bethesda. But I mean, this is actually pretty significant. So Bungie now will join PlayStation Studios' portfolio and their team, but they're going to remain independent. This won't affect anything regarding Destiny 2. More Destiny 2 content will still be multi-platform. It's not going to harm or divide Destiny 2 online community. And I think this is actually pretty interesting. First, the quote from Pete Parsons regarding the whole acquisition. Since taking flight in 1991, Bungie has always charted the future with our own star map, a path that is driven by our people and for our community. We are continuing that journey with new worlds in development, and we can't wait to share them with you. With SIE, the potential for our universe is unlimited. Our future games will take bold steps into unexpected spaces for Bungie, continuing to push the boundaries of what is possible, and will always be built on a foundation of creating meaningful, long life friendships and memories. We remain in charge of our destiny. I don't know if that was a pun intended, but I guess that's how it goes. We will continue to independently publish and creatively develop our games. We will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. Our games will continue to be where our community is, wherever they choose to play. With SIE's support, the most immediate change you will see is an acceleration in hiring talent across the entire studio to support our ambitious vision. If this speaks to you and you want to help us put a dent in the universe, we are hiring across all disciplines for Destiny 2 and for all the new worlds beyond. So clearly what's going to happen is that Bungie will stay as they are while having a more creative partnership with Sony. And you know what? I actually find this kind of interesting because while Microsoft published Activision and then Sony's buys Bungie, there was a time when Bungie had some sort of working relationship with both Activision and Microsoft because Bungie helped Microsoft with the Halo games on the original Xbox and even Xbox 360, the trilogy plus Halo ODST and Halo Reach. And then Bungie had a contract with Activision releasing the Destiny games plus the expansion and even Destiny 2 released under Activision supervision. So I think it was in 2019 when they cut off their contract or just separated from them. Destiny 2 then became a free-to-play, right? So I find this situation interesting. It's almost like Bungie trying to get back at both of them. I don't know. This whole twist is kind of interesting. How Bungie made Halo games for Microsoft, and Sony has the original creators of Halo on their side. So I don't know. It's just kind of full circle. It's kind of ironic in how things come in full circle. Now, while Jim Ryan was writing this on a blog post for PlayStation, Herman Holst, who's the head of PlayStation Studios, did have this to say. I am absolutely thrilled to announce a new member will be joining the PlayStation family. I've been a huge fan of Bungie for many years. I have admired and enjoyed the games they create, and have a great respect for their skill in building worlds that gamers want to explore again and again. Bungie makes games with outstanding technology that are enormously fun to play. They have unmatched dedication to the communities that play their games, and everyone at PlayStation and PlayStation Studios will be excited about what we can share and learn from them. I have spent a great deal of time with the senior team at Bungie, and it is clear their experience and skills are highly complementary to our own. We will be ready to welcome and support Bungie as they continue to grow. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this incredible team. Okay, so recently there was an interview published online on Game Industry Biz from Jim Ryan and Pete Parsons speaking on the article. Part of the reasons I think why this whole acquisition partnership happened is so that PlayStation is trying to go a little bit more multi-platform, and we've seen it already with like some recent releases. Like I think on God of War is an example. Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding, Days Gone, as like some of their big budget major exclusives on Windows, like Steam and Epic. So I think with Bungie involved, since they're good with like MMORPG shooters, I think like they're trying to go more multi-platform live service game service type thing, and plus like maybe it's just another way of allocating resources. I mean, I understand for them it costs a lot of money with these big budget single player exclusives, and I think this is where they've stood out throughout the eighth generation. I mean, other than just the games I mentioned, like Ghosts of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2 as an example, Marvel's Spider-Man, Bloodborne, even though that's from a publishing deal with From Software, from the whole, the same team, Dark Souls, Sekiro, all that, but I think you get the idea, because like it does cost a lot of money, but they're definitely worth it, and it has worked to their favor as well. So it's just another way of broadening their gaming experience, broadening what kind of games they want to continue and how they want to continue, the platforms they want to stay releasing on, and so forth. So I think this is how Bungie will fit in, plus another development team Sony acquired in 2021, Nixus Software, that I think also Fire Sprite as well, but a couple of teams that are good with PC ports. So I think that's part of the reason why they were brought in to work on Uncharted Legacy of Thieves PC port as well. So I think it's going to be interesting how everything looks going forward. But with this trend of companies and game publishers being bought and sold and I don't know what, and while Nintendo has stayed out of it, I mean, it's getting a little crazy. Because speaking of the whole Activision Microsoft situation, the FTC wants to review it just to make sure it's legal. So that's another major hurdle for Microsoft. So it's kind of getting crazy. I mean, it's almost like, I don't know, like one platform's taking these IPs and another platform taking a bunch of IPs, but in the case of Bungie, they're going to stay as they are, but with more of a support from Sony going forward.